Hey, out here keeping the main thing the main thing. You know what it is, live from the 215. Yes, I will be enjoying a nice, fine beverage. All right, so let's get right into it. Let's talk about your expectations for Philadelphia sports. Personally, for me, I think the Eagles could run it back. I think they can. Got a tough schedule ahead, but I can see them running it back. I mean, the AFC teams that we're going to be facing are very tough. Very, very tough. Um, for the Flyers, they're just going to be right in the middle of the pack, if we're being honest. Sixers, second round exit. I would not be shocked with a first round, though. Would not be shocked with a first round exit. And the Phillies, that's like a tough one. I think we're going to be a playoff team. Do I think we're going to get back to the World Series? Probably not. Rob's a really good manager. He's got a thing to him that the guys just respond, and it's same with Nick Sirianni. Um, put a comment down below on maybe what your expectations are for any of these teams, unless you want to go MLS too. Go for it. Lacrosse, get the Wings involved. Let's do it. Um, Going off that, who do you think will have a breakout season in Philadelphia sports in the year 2023? All right. Personally, I mean, it's hard to go with like an Eagles player because I just think all of them have been good. I'm probably gonna go with whoever's gonna be the running back is gonna have a hell of a year. Probably like a very unexpected year for that person. I don't think it's going to be Miles. If you think Miles is going to resign, that's your opinion. You're entitled to it. I just don't see him coming back. I see him chasing the bag. Um, also, it's tough to go with like any Flyers player. Um, I'm gonna. It's like I just gotta say like TK. I don't know. As much as I think he might get traded by the end, by not this season, but beginning of next season, I can see him being gone or something like that. Just ridiculous. Um, Not too big on the Flyers though, so if anyone wants to help me out, give me some inside scoops on who in the Flyers you think's gonna have a breakout season. Go right to it. Um, for the Phillies, God, Andrew Painter is gonna show us who Andrew Painter is. That's what's gonna happen. I've seen a lot of guys saying, if he's like Spencer Strider, we're gonna have a good year. Um, from what I'm just reading about him, I I can't I can't be the guy to be like, oh, let's actually wait and see. Like, I'm a Philly sports fan. I'm gonna be confident and say Andrew Painter is gonna be the next best thing. Like, I just have to say that. It's just also how I feel. Like, we haven't had a homegrown pitcher in a while, so it is tough for me to back that up with that. But I'm gonna be confident in this guy and say he's gonna be good, man. He's gonna be really good. He's gonna shock us with how probably good he is. Um, for the Sixers, God, Maxi's already having like I guess a breakout year. Um, can't say Embiid, can't say Harden. They're all too well grown. They're all like just grown men now, where it's like okay, and like Embiid putting up 29 tonight was like that's a bad night for him, but that's like a good night for almost half the league. that brings me to uh, talking about coaches now. Now, who do you want gone in Philadelphia as coaches? Now, we've already seen Shane Steichen and Jonathan Gannon are out as Philadelphia coordinators. But if I'm gonna be honest with it, I'm gonna stick with the Sixers and be like, I want Doc out of here so bad. He's just repetitive. Like, what's he, one tier above Brett Brown and still gets the same results? Like, and to replace him, I want to say Sam Cassell. Everybody's saying, like, Dawn Staley. I'm like, that's not going to happen. It'll never happen. It just will never. And then there's others that are like, Jay Wright. I'm like, Jay Wright's probably never going to coach again. Probably never. Ever again. If I'm going all the other ones, like the Phillies, there's not really many coaches I want gone. What is it, like Kevin Long is the Phillies he's their Phillies hitting coach, correct? I want to say that with confidence. I don't know why I'm asking anyone here. Like, he would be the only one where I'm like, not like concerned about, but like, I don't know. I just feel like when you get no hit in the World Series, that guy who's the hitting coach should be like, looked at a little more. If any coach, But honestly, with all of them, I would probably be like, nobody there. Flyers, I don't know. I think Torts has done good, I think he's just really working with what he got. So I think he embodies the city really well. Does really good with that. He just wants his guys to play hard, through everything. So that's on that. For replacing Shane Steichen. Now, I've been seeing Brian Johnson's name being brought up a lot. But, excuse me. But I've heard a little rumor that possibly it could be Eric Bieniemy is being looked at. And I was ecstatic. I was like, God world. Like, that would be Jalen Hurts on steroids. Well, the whole offense on steroids in general. And I would love that. But I think it's going to be Brian Johnson. If you were going to ask me, who do you think Howie, Jeffrey, and Nick are all going to say should be the guy? It's going to be Brian Johnson. Adam Schefter already confirmed it. And if Adam Schefter's wrong, then just end my life right now. Because that guy's pretty much right on almost everything he says. Been hearing Vance Joseph for the DC spot. Vance, he's been around the league a lot, been on several different teams as coordinator and as a head coach for the Broncos. So he knows that role as well. I don't know where to go with it with this one. Like, I feel like we should just be looking, instead of like the NFL needs to, in general, needs to start looking at coaches like kind of like how D'Amico Ryan's got his job. Like, he got hired from within. Like the DC spot should be like a within. Because with Jonathan Gannon, and as much as he botched that Super Bowl, and it's not all on him, but he's definitely got a good chunk of the blame on his plate. He botched that, but did he have a great season? Yeah, he had the team with the third most sacks in NFL history on his side. Yeah, and I get it. The players are really good around this team, but I mean, he's just that. He just had his scheme good, like he did in instances, and he was just like a DB's coach and he had the DBs good. Like Slay locked down Justin Jefferson. Like you can't fault him. Like and Darius Slay is a great player. Don't get me wrong, but we saw not this season, the season before, that down the stretch he was getting cooked, and in a sense, I don't recall him getting too much cooked in the Super Bowl, but like good players down the stretch beat him up. So that's also that thing you got to think about. Um, I don't know. I guess go with Vance Joseph. I guess. I guess that's where you gotta go. Um, but I would I would advise somewhere else, maybe like a DB's coach somewhere else, or look into some other people. It's just like it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Leave a comment down below who you really think the DC should be, and maybe who you think it's just gonna be in general. Also want to dive into the beverages we like to enjoy on game day. Um, Personally, I'm just regular old beer guy, but and what drinks to maybe stay away from on game day? Because I'm personally not taking shots, but some people out there like mixed drinks. I know couples guys that likes to have this that old fashions. But yeah, leave a comment down below what you like to enjoy. I just like a nice cold beer. That's always fine with me. Um, Also, getting maybe off a little bit of the sports topic, but I know we're the main thing. We keep it around here, the main thing. But the other things matter as well. How do we feel about new shows and movies out now? Um, and which streaming services you prefer? Because I'm personally all in on HBO, and I think it's probably the best one out there. I think if I was going with the worst, it would probably be Netflix. Like they're a little petty. They're being a little bitch asses. They got a fucking bad case of bitch assness, like a serious bad case of bitch assness. Can't even speak properly. Um, yeah, like The Last of Us. I mean, I know people criticize the episode 3 because they made the guy a homosexual, but whatever. Everybody's probably heard about that. So, but don't worry. It's in my opinion, I just didn't think the character was important enough to care whether he's a homosexual or not. Um, Another good show that I've watched and just dying to see it again. The Boys on Amazon Prime. Great show. Great show. Great show. Can't say it enough. It's definitely how superheroes would be in real life. But yeah, that's how superheroes would be, and you got to give it a watch. Amazon Prime, good streaming service as well, along with HBO. Trying to get more into HBO as well. Leave a comment down below. What's your favorite show? Maybe currently. Also, maybe a new movie that's out that you like to watch. Your streaming service that you prefer to use, and maybe even the streaming service that you want to advise people to stay away from, and that it's like, hey, they got all this extra fees or whatever. They're adding all this extra stuff, which Netflix, go fuck yourself, Netflix. But yeah, there's that, and also a couple things like what chores do you just dread doing? Like, because personally, mine is taking out the trash. I know I'm gonna get hate in the comments. I'm gonna get lit up. Oh my god, the firing squad is coming for me in the comments. Um, I hate taking out the trash, and I don't mean like the bag to the can. I mean the can to the curb. That trash taken out. There's a fine line. There's a fine difference. Um, yeah, I hate that. Leave a comment down below. If the Chiefs punted, then I must have missed that. Must have been one time if they did, because I don't think they punted all game. But I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked at a 12-5 record. I've seen a lot of 11-6s out there, but I will go with a 12-5. 12-5. I'm confident in a 12-5. Also, what do you think they're gonna do in the draft? The draft is coming up in a couple months. What is it? It's February now, so March, April. So it comes up in like mid-April. Who do you think they're gonna draft? How do you think the draft's also gonna go? And do you think they're gonna trade one of their first 2-round picks, as they've been doing in these past couple of years, which has been hella fucking smart. Hella fucking smart. It's like they invented fucking sliced bread, because, like, once they got that first round pick for Carson and just, like, got another one in that Dolphins trade, they're just on a tear of first round picks. And you know what? This is my time to shout out. Shout out Les Snead. Fuck you, and telling you to fuck your picks. How does 4-13 feel? Weren't they? The Rams? Go fuck yourself, Les Snead. You idiot. You don't have a running organization. Yeah, you got a ring. Good for you, bud. Now your team's in poverty, and I would not be shocked if you're fired in like 3 years. Like, won't be. At all. Because it's not fuck them picks. Them picks mean something to other organizations, not as you. It's what you do with those picks. It's just, okay, say the Eagles aren't super confident at 10, which I think this is my prediction. It's the 10th pick that's going to be traded. It is. I know we go back to the 2018 draft where they traded their first round pick, which became Lamar Jackson, for what became Dallas Goedert. I just think their new strategy with accumulating picks to understand, like, where you got a sure thing. Like, say at the 10th pick, they're not really sure if they should take this guy, or this guy. They got multiple guys, and they're all kind of in the same level of what we want, maybe at a couple different positions. They really might just be like, well, fuck this pick. Let's see what guys got to offer, and then that's just my opinion. And to the quarterbacks, there's 2 tiers in this draft, in my opinion. There is one tier, which is the sure. Nah, I don't want to say sure. Yeah, I'll say sure. Surefire thing. How about I go that route? I'm going to be bold. As much as one of the 2 quarterbacks that I'm thinking of isn't a surefire thing, and that's Bryce Young. I don't trust Bryce Young. I'll take C.J. Stroud, and I'm backing an Ohio State quarterback. That's from a Penn State fan, sadly. I'm backing an Ohio State quarterback to have a better career than an Alabama quarterback, which my quarterback, obviously, is Jalen Hurts. And he was an Alabama guy. As much as people want to say he wasn't an Alabama guy, he went to Oklahoma, too. Yeah. And that's where he had his best season. That's where he was a Heisman candidate. He's a Roll Tide, boy. He's a Roll Tide. Won the SEC championship for them when Tua went out. He balled the fuck out. And we saw him ball out in the main stage. That's an Alabama quarterback right there. But it's just his size. I just think the offensive... I know he has a big offensive line in Alabama. I just think it's probably going to be different for him in the NFL. with the linemen being like as big as they are, I don't. He's gonna really have to find tight windows to like find receivers open, and that's gonna struggle for him. But I wouldn't be shocked if he has like a Drew Brees type of career where like he just struggles in like one spot and then he finds the right spot, like he finds the right organization to be a part of and wins a Super Bowl. But I just think CJ Stroud is just too good. The other two, and I know one of them, a lot of guys are putting him as like the best quarterback in the draft. That would be Will Levis out of Kentucky. A lot of college football fans love him. I'm not too big on him because a lot of college football fans clearly loved Zach Wilson, and we all saw how that worked out. The greatest accomplishment in Zach Wilson's life is he fucked his mom's friend. That's pretty poor for a guy that you expect to be a franchise quarterback and not get replaced with a guy who has basically an NPC generated fucking name in Mike White. That's coming from one Mike to another. Mike White's a generated ass name, and this dude was what, a fifth round pick or less, like fifth, sixth, seventh. He was one of them, and he replaced Zach Wilson and shined. Threw for like 300 yards. That's Zach Wilson for you. Real good talent. Dude just doesn't have it. The other one that like I'm like borderline like I actually just put him above like Will Levis. Because I like him better than Will. Do I think like he's gonna probably take some time to develop? Is Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson's a very, very talented quarterback. He can use his legs, so he can kill you in that way, which I always love in a quarterback. I don't get why everyone just hates on running quarterbacks. I was huge on Lamar when he first came out. Shout out Lamar. Get that bag, boy. Get that fucking bag. I hope he gets a bag. I was huge on him. Ask any of my friends. I used him in Madden like all the time, which was good, and it sucked at times because his fumbling was so crazy. He'd fumble like the most ridiculous shit, which just always pissed me off. But yeah, I don't see why people want to shy away from the running quarterback, and we should be more fascinated about what they do in the pocket. Like, and that's coming from a guy that, like, I was mad at Jalen Hurts at one time. Like, yes, he has to develop, like, at least some sense of an arm. And, like, Lamar and him are a little bit different, though, as well as Richardson. Like, they're all kind of have their own thing that they do good at. Jalen's, like, a tough runner. Like, he's yeah, go ahead and hit me. And Lamar is kind of like a get your bitch ass off of me kind of guy. Not like bitch ass off of me, but like don't touch me. That's a sexual assault right there if you touch me. And I won't let you touch me. Just been moving motherfuckers and shit. Like, the guy is like Michael Vick, like walking video game. Like, if I was going to say who's more like Michael Vick, Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson, it's Lamar. Lamar is more like Michael Vick. I don't want to get too much into Lamar because I could talk about Lamar forever. Like, and you'll all think I'm a fucking Baltimore Ravens fan by the end of the pod, but no. Yeah, Anthony Richardson, much more higher on him. I wouldn't be shocked if he's pans out to have a Jalen Hurts-esque career, even as so far. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if first year bad, kind of like a project, and then like second year starts to do better, blah blah blah. But back to the pick. Yeah, I see them trading that because of that. Because somebody might want to take a risk on a Levitt or take a risk on a Anthony Richardson, which I think that more teams should be taking a risk on Anthony Richardson, to be honest. I don't see the Eagles doing it as much as probably Brian Johnson would probably push for it, but he might not. He would probably just definitely be like, yeah, just give him a look. Maybe he can inform other GMs to look at him too. Like go up to Howie, tell him that, because he doesn't want to hate on his boy Jalen. Like he just saw the guy go to the Super Bowl, but I hope he's like at least talking to Howie and being like, hey, guys should talk about this Anthony Richardson guy. So I'm pretty sure he coached him. He had to have. Just remember it was Kyle Trask there last time, but I'm sure he knew who he was. But yeah, I think people are gonna be desperate for a quarterback in that realm. Um, we saw last year though that didn't happen, so I guess that goes against me and what I'm saying. But you never know. You never really know. These drafts never go how like mock you go 'em, or even how you even want to predict them. Like I never predicted the Eagles to draft Jalen Hurts in the second round. Like that's for damn sure, and that shocked me. But yeah, just think the Eagles have a very good chance. I know we play the Bills, Kansas City, obviously. Um, we play San Fran, who I think is basically gonna run it back, but I also think they're choke artists in the playoffs. Like I'll say Kyle Shanahan and Doc Rivers are basically the same person. They must drink the same fucking like drinks. They must have the same like habitual habitats or not habitats. Wow, that sounded stupid. Woo. They have the same habitual habits. Am I saying that right? Eesh. Botched that one. Botched. Essentially, they wake up, do the same thing every day. Kind of guys. They're like the same person in a sense. That's what I should have just said. I should have just said they're the same person. Kyle Shanahan and Doc Rivers basically make out with each other. How about that? That's another thing. Maybe that's what they do. But nah, yeah, they'll be a playoff team. That's another tough team we're gonna have to play. Um, I believe we play Cincinnati, if I'm not mistaken. And I mean, Seattle's gonna be a tough team. Pete Carroll's a great coach, keeps his team going. Brian Dable's gonna improve that roster with the Giants. Dallas is gonna be Dallas, so they're gonna be, good in the regular season, and then shit the bed, just as the 49ers will do. They'll do the same thing. We play the Buccaneers, who are going to be trash, garbage. Buccaneers are going to be garbage. That whole division is going to be garbage, to be honest with me. To be honest. Like, I'll say Carolina wins that division. Carolina wholeheartedly wins that division, without a doubt in my mind. If I'm wrong, just stitch this. Put this up there, because Carolina's winning that division. Frank Reich's going to have his boys ready to fucking play. Like, he's been dealing with a quarterback problem, and he still, makes the playoffs. Except for what? Last year, Carson choked it for him. This year, he got fired before they could even attempt to get into the playoffs. They beat the Chiefs, and he still got fired. They beat the Super Bowl champs, and the guy gets fired. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Jim Irsay is a fucking moron. He's a moron. He's a fucking moron. Oh, yeah, let me hire Jeff Saturday. That was a fucking good idea, dude. That was a great idea. He got you a win against a guy that I also don't think should be coaching in the NFL, which is Josh McDaniels. I don't think he should be a coach in the NFL. The only way he won was by cheating. And you can ask any fucking Broncos player, if anybody has any Broncos connects, they know that motherfucker cheated. They knew it. They knew everything they were going to run. They went, 7-0, and then lost the rest of the way out. Or they won 2 games after that and lost every other one. because after they found out that they were like videotaping other teams' practices, it got out. So that's where I gotta say on that. It was ridiculous. Kind of trying to wrap it up now because it's getting to the witching hour. But yeah, I think the Eagles are gonna have a good season. I think the Sixers are gonna do the same thing they do every year. And I think the Flyers are just going to be the Flyers. Poverty. Straight poverty. But Philly's a tough one to call. That one's a tough one. Very too early to tell. It's so hard with baseball to predict if you're going to make the playoffs or not. I'll say they make the playoffs. They got Trey Turner. He's an upgrade over James Cigarette was the man, but Trey Turner's godly, in my opinion. All right. Everyone have a good one. And always remember, keep the main thing the main thing. And you had a purpose before anyone had an opinion. Don't forget that. Peace.